Good day everyone, my name is Georgia Elizaraz and I am the last reporter for the cardiovascular system. And now let's tackle the heartbeat. The heart continues to beat every moment on a person's life. Now, place your right hand on the left side of your chest and you can feel your heartbeat. An adult's heart beats around 70 to 80 beats per minute. Babies birth to 3 months old, 100 to 150 beats per minute. Kids 1 to 3 years old, 70 to 110 beats per minute. Kids by the age of 12, 55 to 85 beats per minute. As you observed, heartbeats as we age differs, for as we all know that the aerobic capacity decreases with age. It's because older hearts simply can't beat as fast as younger hearts. One of the reasons for the age-dependent reduction in maximum heart rate is that aging depresses the spontaneous electrical activity of the heart's natural pacemaker, the sinoatrial node. And now, let's proceed to the heart sound. When we listen to the stethoscope of our heart, the sound is usually described as lub-dup, lub-dup, lub-dup. The lub, or also known as the first heart sound, is caused by the closure of the atrioventricular valve, and the dup sound, or the second sound, is due to the closure of the semilunar valve. When the ventricle relaxes, the atrioventricular valve are located between the atria and the ventricles. They close during the start of ventricular contraction. Ventricular contraction or systole are the extra heartbeats that begin in one of heart's two lower pumping chambers. That's produced the first heart sound. There are two atrioventricular valves, which is the tricuspid valve and the mitral valve. The tricuspid valve is located between the right atrium and the right ventricle. It consists of three cusps, which is the anterior, septal, and the posterior, with the base of each cusp anchored to a fibrous ring that surrounds the orifice. Now, the mitral valve. The mitral valve is located between the left atrium and the left ventricle. It is also known as the bicuspid valve, for it has two cusps, which is the anterior and posterior. Like the tricuspid valve, the base of each cusp is secured to a fibrous ring that surrounds the orifice. Next is, let's proceed to the second dup sound, which is due to the closure of the semilunar valve. Semilunar valve are located between the ventricles and outflow vessels. They close at the beginning of the ventricular relaxation, which producing the second heart sound. There are two semilunar valves, pulmonary valve and aortic valve. Pulmonary valve is located between the right ventricle and pulmonary trunk. The valve consists of three cusps, right, left, and anterior. Next is the aortic valve. The aortic valve is located between the left ventricle and the ascending aorta. The aortic valve consists of three cusps, right, left, and posterior. Now, you might be asking on a complete beat of the heart, and that is called the cardiac cycle. Cardiac cycle is a sequence of events that occurs in one complete beat of the heart. The pumping phase of the cycle, also known as the systole, occurs when the heart muscle contracts. The filling phase, which is also known as the diastole, occurs when the heart muscle relaxes. At the beginning of the cardiac cycle, both atria and ventricles are in diastole. During this time, the chambers of the heart are relaxed and receive blood. The atrioventricular valves are open. Atrial systole follows this phase. During atrial systole, the left and right atria contract at the same time and push blood into the left and right ventricles respectively. The next phase is ventricular systole. During ventricular systole, the left and right ventricles contract at the same time and pump blood into the aorta. and pulmonary trunk respectively. In ventricular systole, the atria are relaxed and receive blood. The atrioventricular valve closed immediately after ventricular systole begins to stop blood going back into the atria. However, the semilunar valve are open during this phase to allow the blood to flow into the aorta and pulmonary trunk. Following this phase, a ventricles relax, and that is called ventricular diastole occurs. The semilunar valve closed to stop the blood from flowing back into the ventricles from the aorta and pulmonary trunk. The atria and ventricles once again are in diastole together, and the cycle begins all over again. And that is how a complete beat of the heart works. Now let's proceed. As what I have said earlier, as we age, there are also effects of it in our heart. First is our heart rate slows down because the time between heartbeats increases as we age. This is one of the main reasons why the heart is unable to pump out more blood during exercises when we became old. Next is the amount of blood the heart pumps each minute can change as we age. It decreases slightly in older women. However, it does not change in healthy older men who have no heart diseases, and the reason for the difference between the two sexes is not fully understood. Next is postural hypotension. As we age, our blood pressure falls much more on standing from sitting position compared to when we are young. This phenomenon is also known as postural hypotension. This explains why elder people are more likely to feel dizzy or fall when they stand up quickly from resting position. And there are ways to take care of our heart health. First is schedule a yearly checkup for us to know our health conditions and to prevent possible diseases. Get physical, eat healthy, control cholesterol, cut down on salt, quit smoking, maintain a healthy weight, and stay positive. That would be all.